Now, investigators continue to piece together the Nashville bomber, Anthony Warner, and his motives. Some are raising questions now about terrorism. Elizabeth Lane spoke with a former FBI investigator about what it would take to classify this as an act of terror.
It was an hour that you shouldn't be hearing stuff like that.
The Nashville Christmas bombing is described by victims like Brian Norwood as terrifying.
Tariff blockaded his front door to the apartment. I still don't know what's going on. Don't know when I'm going to get back in my house.
But will investigators conclude terrorism? Criminal justice expert Dr. Carter Smith says proving a charge of that nature certainly raises the stakes.
So I could come up with a lot of scenarios where this was obviously terrorism. I could also come up with quite a few where this is obviously not.
Supposed bomber Anthony Warner took his own life in the explosion. That means he could never be brought to justice. We can't talk about terrorism without wanting to know more about Warner's motives. A puzzling announcement coming from his RV Christmas morning warned people to evacuate. Dr. Smith says an explosion like this undoubtedly took skill. The bomber could have prepped for years.
This is a 60-something-year-old guy who's been around the block, who's quite, he's advanced in years. He's apparently a loner or an introvert like I am. And he's done and he researches things before he does them, so he does them right the first time.
Investigators will ultimately reach their conclusion and close the case. However, Smith says without the option to speak with Warner, many questions could go unanswered.
We're going to be able to speculate our way to a solution, but I don't think we'll, unless we find a suicide note somewhere, I don't think we'll ever know much.
Elizabeth Lane, News 2.
A former ATF agent, by the way, tells us most bomb investigations in the U.S. are ultimately not classified as terrorism.